Welcome to Best Learn English Online.
What is shown in the video is the art of speaking English without grammar. Please watch the full video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks. In a bustling city, there lived a young woman named Maya. She had a dream of traveling the world, but there was one thing holding her back: her fear of speaking English. Maya had always been fascinated by different cultures, but every time she tried to practice her English, she became overwhelmed by grammar rules. One sunny afternoon, while sipping coffee at her favorite cafe, she overheard a group of travelers chatting animatedly. They were laughing and sharing stories, their English filled with enthusiasm, but not perfect grammar. Maya felt a spark of inspiration. What if she didn't worry about grammar and just focused on expressing herself? The next day, armed with a notebook, Maya made a plan. Instead of memorizing rules, she would focus on 3 key ideas. Step 1. Simple words. Maya began by jotting down common phrases she heard from her cafe friends. She practiced saying things like, "I want coffee," "Where is the bathroom?" and "Let's have fun." Each phrase felt natural and approachable. The goal was clarity, not perfection. Step 2. Real-life practice. She decided to step out of her comfort zone. She visited a local park where many tourists gathered. With her heart racing, she approached a couple sitting on a bench. "Hello. I practice English. Can we talk?" she asked, smiling. To her surprise, they welcomed her warmly. They chatted about their travels, and Maya found herself expressing her thoughts without worrying about grammar. They laughed, shared stories, and to her astonishment, she understood much more than she thought she would. Step 3. Confidence. With each conversation, Maya's confidence grew. She realized that the key to communicating was not in perfect sentences, but in the willingness to connect. She made mistakes, of course, but each one was a stepping stone to improvement. One evening, as she joined a language exchange meetup, Maya was nervous but excited. She met people from around the world, each with their own stories and struggles. They spoke English in various accents and styles, and none of them focused on grammar. They laughed at their mistakes and celebrated their successes. Maya learned that the joy of communication outweighed the fear of imperfection. By listening actively and responding genuinely, she forged connections that transcended language barriers. As weeks turned into months, Maya traveled to new countries. In markets, she would greet vendors in simple English, barter, and share stories. In cafes, she made friends over shared meals and broken sentences. One day, while sitting on a beach in Thailand, she reflected on her journey. She no longer feared grammar. Instead, she embraced the beauty of language as a living, breathing thing. When she returned home, Maya felt transformed. She had learned to speak English without being bogged down by rules. Her travels had taught her that language is about connection, and sometimes the most profound conversations happen when you let go of perfection. With a smile, she opened her notebook and wrote, "To speak is to connect." And that, my friends, is the real art of language. Emboldened by her travels, Maya decided to share her newfound philosophy. She started a blog titled Speak with Heart, where she encouraged others to embrace English without the weight of grammar rules. Each post shared her experiences, tips, and the magic of connecting with people through simple words. As her blog gained traction, she received messages from readers around the world. Some were fellow travelers, others were students, and many were simply people who had longed to express themselves but felt shackled by grammar anxiety. Maya responded to each message, offering encouragement and sharing her journey. A new adventure, hosting workshops. One day, an idea struck her. Why not host workshops in her city? Maya envisioned a place where people could come together to practice speaking English in a relaxed, friendly environment. She reserved a small community center and advertised her event with the tagline, "Speak English without fear." On the day of the workshop, she welcomed a diverse group of participants. Some were young students, others were professionals, and a few were retirees eager to learn. Maya started with icebreakers, encouraging everyone to introduce themselves with just 3 simple sentences. The room buzzed with laughter and nervous energy as they stumbled over words, but smiled through their mistakes. Maya shared her philosophy: grammar is a tool, but it shouldn't be a barrier. Let's focus on expressing ourselves, sharing our stories, and enjoying the process. The participants began to share their experiences, their dreams, and their fears. They practiced speaking in pairs, emphasizing understanding rather than perfection. Building a community. As the workshops continued, a community formed. Participants began to return week after week, bringing friends and family along. They shared meals, organized outings, and even started a book club where they could read and discuss stories in English. Maya found herself surrounded by a vibrant tapestry of voices and stories. One evening, they hosted a story slam where anyone could share a personal story in English. The atmosphere was electric with excitement. Maya watched as her friends took the stage, their faces glowing with pride as they recounted tales of love, loss, and adventure, each punctuated with laughter and applause. A trip down memory lane. One particularly poignant moment came when a young man named Amir, originally from Syria, stood up to share his story. His English was halting, but his passion was palpable. He spoke of leaving his homeland and finding solace in the warmth of new friendships. "I'm not perfect in English," he said, his voice steady. "But when I speak from my heart, I feel free." The room erupted in applause, and Maya felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. It was moments like these that reinforced her belief: language is about connection, not perfection. The journey continues. As the months passed, Maya's workshops grew. She started collaborating with local schools, offering her program to students who struggled with traditional language learning methods. She introduced games, storytelling, and real-life scenarios, making learning engaging and fun. Through her efforts, Maya realized that she was not just helping others learn English, she was fostering confidence, courage, and community. Her approach resonated with many who had long felt silenced by their fears. One day, she received a message from a former workshop participant named Lisa, who had been too shy to speak English in public. Lisa wrote, "I just gave a presentation at work, and I didn't care about grammar. I just shared my ideas, and people listened. Thank you for teaching me to speak from my heart." A legacy of connection. As Maya looked back on her journey, from the timid woman at the cafe to the vibrant community leader, she felt immense pride. She had transformed her fear into a passion for helping others, proving that language could be a bridge, not a barrier. With each person who found their voice, Maya realized that she was not just teaching English. She was empowering individuals to share their stories, connect with others, and embrace the beauty of communication. As she prepared for another workshop, she smiled, knowing that every conversation was an opportunity to build understanding and connection. In her heart, she carried the mantra she had discovered along the way: to speak is to connect. To connect is to live. As the workshops flourished, Maya decided to expand her outreach. She envisioned a community event, a language festival where people could come together to celebrate cultures and languages. The idea was to create an atmosphere where everyone, regardless of their language proficiency, could share and connect through storytelling, music, and art. Planning the language festival. Maya gathered her workshop participants, and together they brainstormed ideas. They could host storytelling sessions, cooking demonstrations, and musical performances from different cultures. Each participant brought their unique background and experiences, enriching the planning process. As excitement built, Maya reached out to local businesses and community organizations for support. Many were enthusiastic about contributing, donating supplies, providing food, or offering spaces for activities. The festival began to take shape as a vibrant tapestry of cultures, with booths showcasing various languages, traditions, and cuisines. The day of the festival. When the day of the language festival arrived, the community center was transformed. Colorful banners hung from the walls, tables were laden with dishes from around the world, and the sound of laughter filled the air. People of all ages wandered through the space, their eyes wide with curiosity. Maya opened the festival with a welcoming speech, sharing her journey and the importance of connection through language. Today, let's celebrate not just the words we speak, but the stories we share, she encouraged. Throughout the day, participants took turns sharing stories in English and their native languages, often with translations to make everyone feel included. Children played games that encouraged them to express themselves without the pressure of perfection. A surprise performance. As the sun began to set, the atmosphere shifted to one of anticipation. A group of local musicians prepared for a performance, blending traditional instruments with contemporary sounds. They invited everyone to join in a simple dance, breaking down barriers and encouraging even the shyest attendees to participate. Maya joined in, feeling the rhythm of the music pulsing through her. The joy was palpable as people danced together, communicating through movement rather than words. It was a beautiful reminder of the universal language of human connection. Reflections and growth. As the festival wound down, Maya found herself surrounded by a circle of friends, both new and old. They shared laughter, exchanged stories, and reflected on the day's events. Today felt magical, said Amir, beaming. I never thought I could speak in front of so many people, but I felt safe here. It's all about the heart, Maya replied, feeling a warm glow of pride. When we speak with sincerity, it doesn't matter if our grammar is perfect. With each passing month, the impact of her workshops and events rippled through the community. More people came forward, eager to share their stories and practice their English. Maya was thrilled to witness their growth, but she also recognized that the journey was ongoing. Empowering the next generation. Inspired by the success of the festival, Maya decided to launch a youth program aimed at helping children learn English through play and creativity. She partnered with local schools to integrate storytelling, music, and art into their curriculum, fostering a love for language from an early age. The program quickly gained popularity. Children who once hesitated to speak began to express themselves through skits, songs, and illustrated stories. Maya watched as their confidence blossomed, just as it had for her. The power of connection. One day, during a workshop, a young girl named Sophia approached Maya, her eyes shining with excitement. I wrote a story, she said, clutching a notebook. Let's hear it. Maya encouraged. Sophia stood before her peers and shared a tale about a brave princess who ventured into the woods to find her lost cat. Her voice trembled at first, but as she spoke, she grew stronger. The room erupted in cheers when she finished, and Sophia beamed with pride. In that moment, Maya realized the true impact of her work. It wasn't just about learning a language. It was about giving people a platform to express their identities and share their experiences. Each story shared was a thread weaving the community closer together. Looking ahead. As the years passed, Maya continued to nurture her community of learners, but she also found herself yearning for new adventures. Inspired by the connections she had forged, she decided to take her message global. She envisioned a series of workshops and festivals in different countries, promoting the idea of speaking from the heart. With newfound determination, Maya began planning her first international workshop in a small town in Brazil. She wanted to connect with local communities, share her approach to language, and learn from their cultures in return. As she packed her bags, Maya reflected on her journey from a shy girl overwhelmed by grammar to a passionate advocate for authentic communication. And so, with a heart full of hope and excitement, Maya set off on her next adventure. Ready to inspire others to embrace the art of speaking English without fear, without barriers, and without grammar constraints.
Part 2.
A new beginning in Brazil. Maya arrived in Brazil on a warm, sunlit morning, greeted by the vibrant colors and sounds of the bustling streets. The air was filled with the aroma of street food, and the laughter of children playing echoed around her. She felt a surge of excitement, knowing she was about to connect with another culture and share her philosophy of language. Her first stop was a local community center, where she met with a group of educators and community leaders. They welcomed her warmly, eager to hear about her approach to teaching English. Maya shared stories from her workshops back home, emphasizing the importance of connection and confidence over grammatical perfection. The local educators resonated with her ideas, and they began brainstorming ways to implement her methods in their own classrooms. Together, they decided to host a community event similar to the language festival she had organized back home. Bringing people together. Maya worked tirelessly alongside her new friends, planning a vibrant event that would showcase the richness of Brazilian culture while providing a platform for people to practice English. They decided to call it Festival de Conexão, or Festival of Connection, a celebration of languages and cultures. As the day of the festival approached, excitement built in the community. Flyers were posted, local musicians and artists volunteered, and families began sharing their stories. Maya felt a sense of purpose as she witnessed the community coming together, each person bringing a piece of their identity to the table. The festival day. When the day of the Festival de Conexão arrived, the community center buzzed with energy. Colorful decorations adorned the walls, and tables were filled with delicious traditional dishes, from feijoada to brigadeiros. The air was thick with the sounds of laughter, music, and the smell of spices. Maya opened the festival with a heartfelt speech, inviting everyone to embrace their stories. Today, let's connect through our words, our music, and our culture, she said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Throughout the day, attendees participated in storytelling sessions, language games, and cooking demonstrations. People shared personal anecdotes, laughter echoed through the halls, and friendships blossomed. A special moment. Later in the day, Maya took the stage to facilitate a story slam, inviting participants to share their tales in English or Portuguese. A young boy named Lucas, who had been shyly observing, finally gathered the courage to step up. With a quivering voice, he shared a story about a magical bird that flew over his village. The crowd listened intently, captivated by his imagination. As he spoke, Lucas grew more confident, his words flowing with passion. When he finished, the room erupted in applause and Lucas beamed with pride. Maya felt a swell of joy. This was what she had hoped to create, a space where everyone could find their voice, regardless of their language skills. Building bridges. The festival was a resounding success, and Maya's heart soared as she watched people connect in meaningful ways. She realized that the beauty of language lies in its ability to bring people together, fostering understanding and friendship. Inspired by the event, she proposed a series of follow-up workshops to continue building on the momentum. The local educators enthusiastically agreed, eager to implement her techniques in their schools. Over the next few weeks, Maya led workshops for adults and children, emphasizing storytelling, games, and improvisation. The participants thrived in this supportive environment, their fears melting away as they practiced speaking English. A lasting impact. As her time in Brazil came to an end, Maya felt bittersweet. She had formed deep connections with the community, and it was hard to say goodbye. The friendships and experiences had changed her in ways she hadn't anticipated. On her final day, the community organized a farewell gathering. They shared stories, food, and heartfelt words of gratitude. Maya felt overwhelmed by the love and kindness surrounding her. "Thank you for showing me the true power of connection," she told them, her eyes shining. "You've taught me that language is not just about words, it's about sharing our hearts." Looking to the future. After returning home, Maya reflected on her journey. She had traveled far beyond geography. She had journeyed into the hearts of others. Inspired by her experiences, she decided to write a book that encapsulated her philosophy, filled with stories, tips, and exercises for anyone eager to embrace language without fear. As she wrote, she included anecdotes from her workshops, highlighting the transformations she had witnessed. Her book, titled Speak with Heart, Embracing connection through language became a celebration of the stories shared and the friendships forged. An expanding network. As her book gained popularity, Maya began receiving invitations to speak at conferences and workshops around the world. Each opportunity allowed her to spread her message further, inspiring even more people to let go of their fears and connect authentically through language. With each new destination, she found herself learning as much as she taught, absorbing the culture and stories of those around her. From bustling cities to quiet villages, Maya's journey transformed into a beautiful tapestry of global connections. A legacy of love. Years later, as Maya stood in front of a diverse crowd at an international language conference, she reflected on her journey. She spoke about her mission to foster connection, her voice steady and filled with conviction. "Language is a gift," she said. "It allows us to share our stories, our dreams, and our lives. Let us speak with heart, for it is in our connections that we find our true selves." As the audience erupted in applause, Maya felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She had ignited a movement, encouraging countless individuals to embrace their voices. And in every heart that learned to speak without fear, her legacy of connection lived on, reminding everyone that the art of language transcends grammar, ultimately leading to understanding, compassion, and love.